Imagine this for a moment. You are standing at a crossroads in your life, and in front of you are two paths. One is safe, familiar, and predictable. The other is risky, uncertain, and terrifying. Most people would turn back to the safe road. But what if I told you that the decision you make in that single moment could define the rest of your life? This is the story of one young man who found himself at such a crossroads, and how one decision changed everything. It all began in a small, quiet town where opportunities seemed limited and dreams often faded before they even started. The young man in this story, let's call him Armand, was someone like you and me. He had big dreams, but life kept pulling him back into the ordinary. He worked long hours at a job he did not love, earning just enough to survive, but never enough to truly live. Armand often wondered, is this all my life is meant to be? Every morning felt the same, every evening predictable. He had ideas, passions, and hopes, but fear always whispered in his ear, what if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you lose everything? One evening, as the sun was setting and painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Armand sat alone on the rooftop of his house. The town stretched out quietly before him, but his mind was loud, filled with doubts and unanswered questions. That's when his old friend, Salman, came to visit. Salman had left the town years ago and returned with stories of struggles, failures, and unexpected successes. Armand, Salman said, leaning back against the rooftop wall, do you know what separates people who live an average life from those who create an extraordinary one? Armand looked at him curiously. What? Salman smiled. One decision, just one. The decision to try, even when you're afraid. The decision to step into the unknown, even when the world tells you to stay where you are. Those words hit Armand like a spark. It was not about having everything figured out. It was not about waiting for the perfect time. It was about making one brave choice. But still, the fear inside him fought back. The next morning, as Armand prepared for another long day at his job, something unexpected happened. His boss called him into the office and said, we're cutting costs. We do not need you anymore. Just like that, the little security he had vanished. Armand walked out of the building with his final paycheck in his hand, his heart pounding. For a moment, the world seemed to collapse around him. But then, he remembered Salman's words. One decision can change everything. That evening, Armand sat down at his small wooden desk with his notebook open. He had always loved drawing, sketching ideas, creating designs. He used to dream about starting his own small business, selling things he created with his own hands. But until now, it had always been just a dream. Fear tried to stop him again. What if no one buys it? What if you lose your savings? What if you embarrass yourself? But another voice, quieter yet stronger, rose inside him. What if this works? What if this is your chance? And in that moment, Armand made the decision. He decided not to look for another job just to survive. Instead, he invested his time, his energy, and the little savings he had into building something of his own. It was not easy. The first few weeks were filled with frustration. He stayed up late, working by the dim light of a single bulb, sketching designs and making prototypes. He knocked on doors, introduced himself to people, and even faced rejection after rejection. Many laughed, some ignored him, but a few listened. Slowly, almost like the first drops of rain before a storm, things began to shift. A local shopkeeper agreed to display his designs. A customer bought one and told a friend. Word spread. His creations began to catch attention. But it was not the success that changed him, it was the journey. He discovered a strength within himself he never knew existed. Every rejection taught him resilience. Every small victory fueled his passion. Months later, Armin stood in a small workshop he had built with his own hands. The walls were lined with tools and materials, and the air was filled with the sound of progress. What had once been just an idea in his notebook was now a growing business. And it all came down to that one decision, the decision to try. You see, life is full of crossroads. Every day we face choices. Some seem small, some feel impossible. But hidden within each choice is the power to change the direction of our lives. Armin's story isn't just about business. It is about courage. It is about refusing to let fear write the story of your life. Think about it. How many times have you had an idea, a dream, or a plan that you never acted on because you were afraid? How many times have you taken the safe road, even though deep inside you knew you were meant for more? The truth is, most people spend their entire lives waiting for the right time, but the right time does not exist. The right time is the moment you decide. The moment you say, enough, I choose to live, not just exist. Armin did not wait for a perfect opportunity. He created one, and so can you. So here's the takeaway. One decision can either keep you where you are, or it can open doors you never imagined. One decision can turn failure into growth, pain into strength, and dreams into reality. As Armin looked back months later, he realized something powerful. It was not losing his job that changed his life. It was choosing to see that moment not as an ending, but as a beginning. And that choice, that single decision, became the turning point that reshaped his entire future. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. Right now, in your own life, there may be a decision waiting for you. Maybe it's a leap of faith, a new beginning, or a step into the unknown. Do not let fear hold you back. Remember, your future does not change when everything is safe and comfortable. Your future changes when you decide to take that one bold step. Because sometimes, all it takes is one decision to change your life forever. If this story touched your heart, I want you to take a moment right now. Ask yourself, what decision have I been delaying? And if you are ready to commit, type it in the comments below. Share it, not just with me, but with the world. You never know how your courage might inspire someone else. And if you believe in stories that awaken courage, hope, and strength, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. Like this video if it resonated with you, and share it with someone who might need this reminder today. Remember, your life is not defined by the fears you face, but by the decisions you make. So go ahead, make that decision. Your future self will thank you.